What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the 2026 Toyota Camry. This one is an SE finished in underground with an MSRP at $36,300. Big shout out to Flo Toyota of Statesville for providing this car for today's video. Check out the links to their website linked down below. Underneath the hood of the 2026 Toyota Camry SE, you're going to find that 2.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine. It is only paired to a hybrid system, and being front-wheel drive, net horsepower is 225. The engine's torque is 163. This also has an eCVT transmission. Current weight is around 3,600 pounds. We have a 13-gallon fuel tank, and you can expect 47 miles per gallon in the city with 45 out on the highway. The overall length is 193.5 inches with a wheelbase at 111.2. Width is 72.4 and height is 56.9 inches. Onto the styling with the 2026 Toyota Camry. This has a nice sharp look all around. I really like the hammerhead style upper grille, and then you have these super cool looking LED headlights. You got the daytime running lights in them as well, and then just a super clean look with a small upper grille. Got your Toyota badge and then a large grille down below with a nice looking mesh. You can see the sharp design throughout this front bumper. There's LED lights over on the far corner, as well as some functional openings to provide some airflow. This has a really good look overall. They really made the Camry a lot sharper than the previous generation. And then up on the hood, I like that sharp body line cutting into those trim pieces. So it really does add to the nice style. You got a good look overall, just a sporty look for these Camrys. And then down below, you can see that plastic trim gives you a nice little wing on the front bumper. And then there's a gloss black set of 18-inch wheels. Got a nice multi-spoke look to them, sharp body line throughout the front fender, and then one sharp line through the whole side. Got a nice sporty looking side skirt, and then body colored on the mirror caps with an integrated turn signal. Yeah, body colored door handles, and then black trim throughout all the windows. Up above, we get a small sunroof, shark fin antenna, and then the side profile is very nice. It's very proportional. It's a good sized, mid-sized sedan. So really nice front and rear. You can see that sharp line cutting into the taillights, sloping rear glass into the trunk with your integrated small lip spoiler. Nice set of taillights with some halogen bulbs in them, and then you kind of have that hammerhead shape as well with this black trim where it says Camry throughout it. Got your backup camera, Toyota badge, hybrid logo as well, exhaust tips over on the left side with some plastic trim all down below with some reflectors. You have some sharp lines throughout the rear bumper just to give it a nice style overall, and really can't complain with the nice style. Taking a look at the key fob, we get lock, unlock, trunk release. It says Camry on the backside. If I go ahead and lock the car, you can just walk right up to it, grab the handle. It's going to automatically unlock. We can check out this interior. Camrys are going to get a nice Softex interior for the SE trim level, finished off in this nice gray color on this specific spec. And then for the door panel, you have this soft touch material up above, and then this nice gray fabric as well. Silver trim piece leading to the release handle, and then we have your lock, unlock, mirror controls, and window controls. Got this black vinyl material with some padding for the armrest, a good grab handle, storage down below, and then this one even has power controls for the driver's seat. Driver's seat has the nice white stitching with the gray material, a nice white stripe to it, a little bit of fabric on the inserts of the bottom bolsters, and then a nice design all throughout towards the headrest. Spinning around, we have a black leather wrapped steering wheel with your contrast stitching and gloss black trim. And then for this Camry, I went ahead and installed a set of last fit all-weather floor liners. These are significantly nicer than the factory ones available on the Camry. And as you can tell, the lip here is going to cover the entire edge. You also have these caps for the locks. That way, no more dirt will get down in there, and it's going to cover the dead pedal really nicely. Now, if you own a 2025 or newer Toyota Camry, take a look at the link down below for this exact floor liner kit that I'm about to show you. We have a 20% coupon code for our viewers, for those of you with the Camrys. So this is a great way, these all-weather floor mats, to keep your Camry looking really good. And if we take a look in back, the floor liner is a massive piece that goes from one side, covers the center, got a cool last fit logo, and it goes to the other side. The factory ones are just going to be 2 small rubber pads. So as we can tell, these are going to do a really good job keeping the entire interior of your car nice and clean. When they get dirty, you just pop them out and give them a wipe and throw them back inside. And then for the trunk, of course, on the Camry, which is pretty roomy, we can press the button and we have a huge liner in here as well, all from last fit. So if you own a Camry, check these out. Great way to keep your interior clean. Comparing it to these stock all-weather floor mats, these do a much better job covering the whole edge, and the lip is just a lot larger to really do a great job. And then now sitting inside the 2026 Toyota Camry, keeping my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. Engine won't necessarily turn on given it's a hybrid. We have that nice Toyota badge in the center, Controls on the left side for some Bluetooth audio controls as well. And then we have cruise control settings on the right with some modes. There's going to be a set of paddle shifters for the transmission. And then we have the stock on the right side for the windshield wipers and then headlights over on the left. Taking a look at the center gauge cluster now, we have a pretty nice layout overall. We can scroll left and right and go up and down into many of these different modes. So you can see all these different screens, safety information, messages as well. You have your temperature on the left, fuel on the right. Just a nice layout overall. Super simple to use. Down below here we have our trunk release, the fuel cap. We also have the interior lighting, traction control, and automatic headlights. And then this fabric trim makes its way onto the dash. Got a cool air vent, a little bit of soft touch material up above. And then I like how you have these gloss black stripes that go all the way over to the air vent. So a cool looking dashboard with more of this fabric trim, has a nice look. And then taking a look at the multimedia screen, what you would expect for the up-to-date Camrys. However, for 2026 on the new RAV4, we have a whole new design for the multimedia software. So maybe we will see that very shortly on the Camry as well. This one is a little basic for being a large, nice screen. So hopefully they hurry up and get the new stuff in this car as well. You're gonna have settings as well. And then if I go into reverse, got a pretty good backup camera. It's a little small for the screen, but functional enough. Down below all that, you're gonna have climate controls. We can easily adjust your temperature, dual zone, get your fan speed, your zones, air conditioning, recirc, and sync. You're gonna see some climate vents, and then we have a bunch of plugs all hidden down below with a wireless phone charging pad. There's storage integrated throughout the center with 2 cup holders, drive select, and then we have a couple drive modes. You can toggle these, it's gonna pop up on the screen. Got a nice little color design as well. Then we even have an EV mode. This is going to be primarily for slow speed driving. You can set EV icon up there, but good for parking lots basically. Behind that, you're going to get your parking brake and then more of this soft touch padded material. Good size storage in the center, and then the glove box on the right side, as you'd expect. One last look at the interior, the most up-to-date Camry. It's nice in here, honestly. It's very well pointed. It has a sporty look to it. Seats are comfortable, nice colors and textures. Then we have a black headliner with a manual sunshade. Then you're going to see a couple of the dome light controls. And then your mirror is even going to have integrated garage door buttons. Moving our way to the rear seat space, I can just grab the door handle and open it up. The door panel looks very similar to the front. However, you get a little bit cheaper materials, just hard plastics without that cool fabric or soft touch. You're going to get a little bit of padding on the armrest with a grab handle. And then back here, you're still going to get the same soft text seating with the fabric accent and then all the colors and striping. This can seat 3 people, as you can tell. Get the nice stripe up here. And then in the center, we can pull this down for an armrest and cup holders. You do get air vents back here, along with a couple plugs, and then there's storage behind both of these seats. And then sitting into the back with the Toyota Camry at 5'11", I have pretty good headroom, a couple inches. And then with the driver's seat, even at my height, I have good legroom and footroom. Overall, can't complain. You can't recline the back seats or anything, but they're actually at a pretty good angle. Armrests are nice. You have a lot of light let in. You have decent amenities too. Wouldn't mind maybe a little bit more lumbar support, but overall for an average size sedan, it's pretty nice back here. And then for the cargo space, you can just press the button over here, manually lift open the trunk, and as you can tell, we have a ton of space in the trunk. It's a very roomy design back here as well. Really can't complain. And if we go ahead and just pull up the floor liner a little bit, we do have a spot we can lift, and you're gonna get some spare tire changing equipment with a spare tire. So nice to have that. And then up above, we have these pull tabs to go ahead and pop down the seats. And with them folded down, we do have a large bump into the cabin from the cargo space. However, it still gives you a pretty useful design overall. Seats themselves are gonna fold nice and flat, and they're pretty flush. So just gotta contend with that little bit of a bump and a smaller opening. But overall, still a very practical car for people as well as cargo. All right, so setting off now in the 2026 Toyota Camry. So this one's kind of middle trim with a lot of the options without being overbearing with the most expensive ones, but it's also not basic either. So in this, ride quality is pretty good. Acceleration is not too bad, especially with the eCVT and the hybrid system. You have that nice down low electronic power just to zip you up to speed. So nice and peppy, even right there, just increasing the speed quite a bit. So that's sport mode. Of course, if you go to eco mode, it gets a little bit more conservative. But for a good efficiency, hybrid sedan, it's actually nice to drive and peppy enough to really get up to speed very well. Overall ride quality is really smooth. Actually feels really nice and comfortable, absorbing bumps well. It's not all too noisy either. Maybe they made a couple adjustments from 2025, because I feel like the older, or not really older, but the last year model, which was still the new generation, I don't know, it seemed a little bit noisier. So maybe just all in my head, but it does feel nice and smooth for what it is. Good visibility all around, the glass is all large, mirrors do a great job, and really easy to see over your shoulders. So nice and easy to just drive this car. These seats are also really comfortable, so I like how just it's a nice place to be. You can easily get comfortable. Overall turning circle is pretty good overall, making a 3-point turn. Let's see if we can make it without touching the gravel. Camera does a pretty good job, and we barely did it, so barely nicked the gravel. But nice little car to drive. Now for EV mode, people ask this about normal hybrids, so I'm in EV mode. I can drive right now in electric, however, hitting about 16 miles an hour, the engine has kicked on. So it's not gonna be like a plug-in hybrid would, where you can actually drive it in EV mode. However, it gives you, you know, a good slow speed way to drive it in the electrics without having the engine turned on. Now, plug-in hybrids like in the 2026 RAV4, if you are in that car, you have like 50 miles of range. So maybe it would be interesting if Toyota did a plug-in hybrid Camry. I think that would be cool. Maybe the Crown is kind of that target. But nonetheless, the Camry is a pretty good car. It's sporty enough for being kind of an average economy car, you know, nice mid-size car. It seems to have a lot to offer. Hopefully they integrate the new screen that we saw in the new RAV4 into this car very shortly, because it's just a little basic. I would just have CarPlay on it, and that's all I would ever use on the screen. So overall, nice to drive car. It's roomy enough, comfortable enough. You have amenities. Of course, there's plenty of trim levels from like low 30s up to about 40 grand. I think the mid 30 grand range is the sweet spot for this car, just because you're gonna get basically everything you're gonna need. So my honest thoughts with the 2026 Toyota Camry. So when we saw this brand new for 2025, honestly, I was pretty impressed. It just seems really well-rounded, a lot more sporty than before, has a lot to offer. Now, a lot of people are still missing the V6 that used to be available. They're only hybrid 4-cylinders now. So Toyota's changing their tune a little bit. They're really going electrified. However, what I like with Toyota, they're not going electric on pretty much any car. Their only electric car is built by Subaru. So I like how Toyota is going the hybrid route. I think that just makes a lot of sense for something like this, because it gives you the really good efficiency without having any of the drawbacks of a full EV. So I think that is a really cool touch for a car like this. You get really good efficiency. On top of that, you are getting good power. The electronics give you that instant torque down below as soon as you touch the throttle. The throttle response is really snappy too, and it just makes this a nice car to drive. For me, I think your day-to-day average cars, honestly, I think hybrids are a significantly better way to go than a full electric or just a basic slow gas car. You know, if you're looking for a commuter car, something to get you from point A to point B, efficiency is important, and the zippy characteristics of EV systems, I think, are awesome. So for me, hybrids are the way to go for a car like this. I think it just makes it a better to drive car. And when you're getting into quick traffic, I mean, seriously, that's impressive for something that isn't a sports car. Overall ride quality is pretty good in these. Now the Honda Accord is probably the best competitor to this, or a Hyundai Sonata. You know, those two both offer a lot of features and a lot of refinements that in some ways are better than this. But this is sporty, you know, it's bulletproof, reliable. So I feel like the Toyota Camry, you know, is definitely one of the top 3 to get. Probably still the most popular in terms of sales goes. The Camry's just been a really good car. So I think it's a good choice to get. If you want a more refined interior, because this is all synthetics materials, some will have genuine leather interiors, but you know, the Accord is a little bit more premium on the interior, and then the Hyundai is going to be a little bit more fancy. So you basically have 3 different cars in this segment to pick from. The Camry's appeal, I would say, is it feels sporty, you know, it's reliable, it's kind of a tried and true hybrid system. Toyota's been doing this for decades. But there is a full look at the 2026 Toyota Camry. Big shout out to Flow Toyota of Statesville for providing this car for today's video. Check out the link to their website linked below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next video.